I'm Sarah Hewen, joined by Q Mines Executive Chairman Andrew Spark. Andrew, what were the highlights of the pre-feasibility study for the company's flagship Mount Chalmers project in Queensland?
Yeah, hi Sarah, nice to be here today. Look, this is obviously a very exciting announcement for our business, and it's the culmination of about 9 months of hard work by the Q Mines team. Just as a quick refresher for some of your listeners, Q Mines is a Queensland-based copper and gold developer. We've got a historic mine just out of a regional town called Rockhampton called Mount Chalmers, which you mentioned in your question. And Mount Chalmers is quite a high-grade historic mine. And so what we've been doing since we listed just under 3 years ago is doing a lot of exploration drilling around that mine to grow the resource and take it down that development path. I'm very pleased to say you'll see that the young baby face. We are a young and very motivated team. We're large shareholders in the business, and today's announcement really shows how far we've progressed. This is actually our 6th resource update. That's right, 6, not 1 or 2, 6. So since listing, and we've also delivered this maiden reserve statement we've announced today, and a PFS, a pre-feasibility study in that time. So we're a young team that really likes to move things along quickly. So getting to your question around the PFS, so obviously the numbers were fantastic. This is a high-grade open pit project, and that basically means it's very low on the cost curve. We only need about $191 million to build the mine, and it throws off about $636 million of free cash over the initial 10.4-year mine life. So it's a really high-grade project. It generates fantastic returns for our shareholders. So you can see we're quite excited about it. But it's important to note that represents about $1.70 a share, NPV to share, where we're trading at circa 6 cents a share. So there's a lot of upside here. And as we'll talk about it as we get into the interview, there are 3 other deposits that we will now try and incorporate into that study to really grow the economics of the business.
You mentioned the maiden ore reserve for Mount Chalmers. Can you talk us through a bit more on that?
Yeah, sure. All right. So the great thing about these open pit projects that we've got shallow mineralisation is you see very high what's called resource to reserve conversion. So here at Mount Chalmers, we've got a resource of about 11.3 million tonnes. And our maiden reserve statement actually came in at just under 10 million tonnes, so it was 9.6 million tonnes to be exact. That basically means that component of that resource is in a lot higher confidence JORC category, so it's been drilled a lot more tightly. And so it's very unusual to see that sort of scale of resource to reserve conversion, and that's the benefit of these shallow projects. So that with a 1 million tonne per annum plant planned for on site, that basically underpins an initial 10.4-year mine life with a small amount of inferred material there as well. So it really shows that this is a long life project with heaps of upside and strong economics, which is great.
Probably goes without saying, but how are you assessing the current copper and gold market, and what role will Queensland play in meeting future demand?
Yeah, good question. It's pretty hard to find an analyst out there who doesn't like, where copper's going. Obviously, all of your listeners have heard about this energy transition and the tightness of the supply side of copper. And so that we think that really, underpins, a very strong pricing environment as we move into that next, metal cycle. In terms of Queensland, it really is the place to be. We know, gold is really dominant in WA and whatnot, but if you want to find quality copper deposits, you've got to be in Queensland. It's the largest amount of copper mines are in the state of Queensland in Australia, and certainly a significant amount of Australia's copper production comes out of Queensland. So it really is the place to be. But this is a brand new district, out of Rockhampton. That's we think it's got a lot more legs as we continue to drill. So.
And finally, Andrew, what other milestones should Q Mines investors keep a lookout for?
All right, so we're now starting to think about bringing in these other 3 deposits into that mine plan. So we've already got 1 in the mine plan, which, as I said, generated a significant amount of value for the business. But there are actually 3 more. So So we know that there's a lot more growth here. And so throughout the course of the year, we'll start to drill those tighter, do some optimization work on them, and really start bringing those other deposits into an updated BFS. So we're really trying to move the business down that development curve so that we're ready to go. When these sort of copper supply deficits really kick in. So we think that's really the way to generate the most returns for our shareholders. So there'll be lots of drilling, lots of optimization work. We're going to kick off the environmental studies, some more regional drilling to test some new targets as well. So lots to look out for as we continue to grow the business.
A very exciting company. Lovely to talk, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Sarah.